Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the build series of this Pandem V3 Silvia S13, and today's going to be a long one. We're going to start cutting this thing. So we've got to cut the quarters, and we've got to cut the front fenders. The entire kit is fit, looking incredible. Everything fits fantastic. I've said it like 3 times now, but you really do get what you pay for. I mean, just look at this, guys. Fits perfect. Reveal around the headlight and everything. I mean, just the body panels, just, they work, they fit, it's great. And this morning, I started kind of laying out the ideas for the livery that this thing's gonna get. So, it's getting there. So, the color scheme of this car, if you can't tell with the brakes, purple white with teal, purple as a main color, white as a main color, actually the factory white, and then teal as an accent. So kind of the old school HKS kind of color scheme. But if you check this out, the green represents purple, the blue actually represents a teal, and then white, purple, teal, white, kind of this gradient. Actually the whole back half of the car is going to be purple. So this, just imagine that carrying out all the way through the car. But we wanted to get this on so we could kind of mock that up for the customer. I want to make a bracket that's going to support from in here all the way out to here. It's actually pretty strong, but we want it to be nice and solid. And then we've got everything marked out where we're going to be cutting the fenders. So I want to get that kind of mocked up and see if I can use what we have upstairs. So I'm going to get that going, and then I'm going to start pulling the entire kit off so we can start cutting up this beautiful car. So, you ready? Cut and weld day. We got the fenders cut. They're looking good. Everything's nice and smooth. So the next thing we're going to do is we need to cut this quarter. Our plan is what we're going to do is we're going to leave the inside liner. There's basically 2 pieces of sheet metal that butt right here on this. What am I thinking about? Pinch weld. So so what our plan is, we're going to cut the outside. And to make that a little bit easier, we're going to drill out the factory spot welds here. And then we're going to grind down the seam sealer on the back of here so that that kind of separates it already. Then we're going to cut just the outside sheet of metal, and then we're going to work the inside up to it with a lot of hammer and time. And we're going to just weld it back together, seam it up, and it'll be just as strong, if not stronger than the factory. And it'll keep any kind of moisture, any nastiness in there, and we'll obviously undercoat all this again when we're done. But that's the plan. We got a lot of work to do, so yeah. Now you can see what I was talking about with this inner skin. This is relatively thin metal. If you can see, like I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it's relatively thin. So Probably gonna have to cut this lid off or bend it out. But I'm gonna start stretching this metal up to here, and then we're just gonna end up seaming that all here. We'll tack weld it, and then we'll either fully weld it or tack weld it, and then seam seal it. I'm not 100% sure, but you guys can see what we're talking about now. So, I mean, up here you've only got to go the width of a finger, and then it does get a little wider over here, but there's a lot more material to work with on this side. So lots of hammering is about to ensue, and I didn't bring my hammer hands today, so ladies and gents, I am hot and tired, and my arms can barely hold up this camera right now. So we're in the middle of this. It's about that time on a Friday, so I need to clean up and get out of here. So I'll see you guys Monday. We'll finish up this side and we'll start working on the other. I'll see you in what's going to feel like a second, but it's going to be an entire weekend. So see you guys Monday. And just like that, it's Monday. I told you it was only going to be like 3 seconds. So back to it. We're going to finish welding this thing up and start on the other side. So let's get to it. Boom, one done. Here's the thing, I don't want you guys thinking that I'm getting enjoyment out of cutting a car with perfect fenders, perfect panels. It's hard, but it's gonna be worth it for sure. Nice and smooth. Woo! And it's going to be hard for you to see up in here. Let me get my light real quick. If you look in here, it's basically just like a tub now. So it fits nice and well all the way up there, nice and smooth. He'll lay an epoxy primer on, which is like a two-part primer, and then he'll seam seal this, and it'll be just as good as new, if not better. So as you can see, we got the kit mounted back up here. The plan is we need to drill it for the dress-up bolt nut certs that we're going to use. So check this out. We've got a fancy little rubber nut cert, which is sleeved. What that's going to do is when we tighten these bolts down into it, everything will kind of squeeze up against, you can almost see it doing it there, it'll squeeze up against the panel and hold it nice and snug. It'll also be rubber, so it'll get rid of some rattles or anything that we might have with just regular nut certs. So I got a lot of drilling to do.
And the coolest thing about those rubber inserts is that it actually seals it too. So you don't have to worry about, if you just use a normal, riv nut insert, you could actually have to worry about water getting behind it and corrosion and all that, but with the rubber, it just seals it.
The rubber seals both sides of it.
Yeah,
so
it's sick.
It's super cool. So thanks Dress Up Bolts for making a super awesome product. We've pre-drilled the fiberglass and we've pre-drilled the body for our nice dress-up bolts here. Like when we go to paint this thing, all I have to do is pop this. Oh my gosh, I can't grab hold of it. All we got to do is pop that out, and we'll pop it right back in when it gets done with paint. So It'll be nice and painted inside there as well, and it'll keep everything nice and clean and fresh for a long time. Just want to show you guys real quick. We got some really nice lug nuts for this thing. They have this ring right here that twists, so I can twist the entire lug nut like this. What makes that cool is this is what sits up against your wheel bore there, or where the lug seat is, and this just spins so it doesn't chunk up and tear up your wheel. That's it, guys. We got a lot done this episode. We got the aero finished. We got the car on the ground at the right height it's going to be. We're still waiting on a few parts, mainly for suspension stuff, but this thing is now just going to get ready to go to paint. So there's a couple little things that I'm going to do as far as getting a few parts out and just stuff ready for paint. That is boring to watch, so we're not going to film that. But I hope you guys are enjoying this build series. Stay tuned because this thing is going to be absolutely gorgeous in the end. So like, comment, subscribe. See you next time.